Well, good morning, everybody. Sound check. So, last train out of Dodge. So, let's get that train moving. Yeah. So, episode 56 Rocky Off the Rails. I am Great Northern JJ. And let's go over and see. There's Rocky. He's standing in front of the camera, which is not doing good right now. Yeah, the adhesive that holds the camera in place. I've tried a couple of things now, and it does not want to stay. So I'll probably be on there like that for a few minutes, and then it's going to pop off again. But let's see if we can see anything. You'll see what it is. Hold on. Look, there's a view of that camera. I'm not sure if that's live or not. I don't think so. It looks like the camera is stuck. But yeah, live video, sort of. Let's see if we stop it. There we go. Live video. Trackside. First time ever. Okay. That's what it is from the trackside. So let's get back over to the main view here. And let's go and see who we've got on the show. First, let's start out. Say shout out to Mom. Klondike. Looks like you were first. Oh, and the camera just popped down again. Yeah. Brad, Willow Creek Industrial Spur, welcome. Dan from Ohio. Hot Dog Pilot Andy, howdy. Kevin Brown, good morning. And Pete Motley, be seeing you soon, brother. And let's see. Looks like, oh, JP. JP's there. Good morning, JP. And who else we got? I'm not reading any of his comments. Okay. All right, cousin Julianne says hi to Aunt Judy, Dan, and John. Okay. So there we go. We got 12 people or so. That's what it says. Let me see. I should put these comments on there so people can type stuff. What do we got going on? Well, let's see. What happened this week? The only thing that I did this week was I put this new Chooch Vision car, which the camera works when it wants to work. But the problem is that right now, you'll see what the camera sees. I'll show you in one moment here. Yeah, the camera is looking at the ground. So I need to figure out another adhesive, preferably something that is non-destructible. I tried regular double stick tape. That doesn't hold too well. I've got some other foam double stick tape I can try later. But yeah, no camera from trackside today. Technical difficulties. But that does save me from another thing. Let me talk about this. I don't know if I would recommend getting this auto train car. I don't know what it is, if it's lacking weight on the ends, or I need to check the gauge on the wheel sets. This thing likes to derail a lot. So I would say at the moment it is unreliable. I did not make it one single pass around the layout without it derailing in 2 or 3 different places. So I can't really say that track is the cause of that. Yeah, Scotch tape failed. Yep, Scotch tape failed. The double stick Scotch failed there. Yep. Yeah, I did that. So, and the thing is, it came like this. Not too long after I had it sitting around the house, it started popping off. So I also tried using some of this stuff, which apparently is not tacky enough. This wax adhesive. I forget actually what the name is, but you use this like for candle wicks. You can use it to stick the candle wick before you pour the wax into the candle mold or the glass that might be holding it, so you can keep it in place. Yeah, so we got the train coming again, and let me get for some reason I cannot rotate that. Okay, do it the other way. There you go. Train's coming at the far end. Yep. So yeah, so that's what I've got is tacky wax. I think that's what Dwight called this before. And you can pick this up at any art supply or hobby store. I went to Michael's; they had it, and it works. It works fine for you see the log loads that are coming past here as this train passes close to the camera. Yeah, all the log loads on that are stuck down with tacky wax. Works fine for that. It's just, I'll figure this out, but just not today, not during the live show. So then, what do we got coming up? You're good. You're good for many things, Dwight. Don't worry. Dwight has a lot of things that he knows about. Okay, let's see. Let me see what JP said. Gorilla mounting putty. It's pretty darn strong. Yeah, I'm not looking for a permanent solution. Looking for something that could be removed if I figure out if I don't want this camera in this train car at all, which is turning out to be, I think, the case. Yeah, I've never had. I don't have any of these auto train cars from Kato, but it is not a very good runner. That has nothing to do with Choo Vision. The only thing that's wrong with this thing, again, is that the double stick that holds the camera to that little mount on top of the car is gone its way. So I'll figure that out. I will figure that out. Probably have some double stick somewhere around, but we're not going to do that during the show. Well, I showed this car when I got it. It's sitting up here. This is the 80th anniversary, the ending of the War of the Pacific, which will be in 1945. It's crazy to imagine that that was 80 years ago. So that's a good addition. It'll match up with the end of the war in Europe. The other car that I have that's got the Tiger tank, or the replica of a Tiger tank, because it certainly should be not so much smaller. Anyways, yes, questions about, yeah, the electrical pickups could be out of whack. And of course, because there's electrical pickups and they've got wires going there, it could be interfering with the ability for the car to, the trucks to swivel, which is, I think, what's going on there. So that's bad. If you're going to go around curves, that's bad. So if they get kind of hung up on something and they won't want to do something. The interesting thing is it was a tailing truck that was coming off. Anyways, we'll figure it out, or we won't. Kevin Brown, does the car draw power from the track? Yes, it does. Yeah, let's look at that, shall we? So here's how the wipers are, and they're done by, you see the brass on either side. So it hooks up the wheels, the end of the pin end of the wheel hits that brass part, much like it does in the rest of Kato unit trains or Kato locomotives, right? And if I pop this open, oh yeah, tomorrow is the big day for Dwight, is it not? It's Dwight's birthday tomorrow. So you'll see that if it's hanging free, these do freely rotate. At least on this side it does. And on the other side, I don't feel anything catching. So it could actually be some issue with how it's sitting in the frame. I'd say overall, oh yeah, there's an arrow that says that's front, I guess, which means the camera should go in here like this. Okay, well, you can see there's a small circuit board that's driving this whole thing right here. And then on the other side, very interesting what he's done here. That is a USB-C power. I believe that's USB-C. And then it's all like wedged in there. So that's how the power is coming. And then there's this piece right here, which is probably doing all the circuitry to actually convert DCC to a good voltage for the board. So I'm thinking either 5 or 9 volts. Yeah, it is top heavy as well. So it has some interesting characteristics about running that don't make it qualify as a good runner. Anyways, that said, I like the camera. So it's possible that we will salvage the camera. Maybe I don't see a good way to actually take the camera off the board and to get the ribbon cable through that hole with a connector on the other side, and the camera itself will not pass through that hole. So anyways, that's what I got to report on that. Exciting and disappointing at the same time. So if I run it like that, what I will do is the kind of the janky thing. See, the camera actually popped down again. I'll do the janky thing, and I will have the ribbon cable pass over the top of a locomotive and then stuck through some means to the front of the locomotive. Yes, this is my own car. No, that's not my own car. I bought the camera with this all included, thinking this would actually be a great idea. Turns out so far, without some sorting of this out, we won't have trains running live on the layout like this. But I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. The thing is, if I don't do it like this, and if I take it off of the pickups, then I have a new challenge. I'll have to get a battery for it, which are fine. You can buy them off of Choo Choo Vision, and then figure out an alternative setup. But I like the idea of these cameras. But I'll also figure out a way to mount this camera. So I'm not completely giving up on it being runnable, but the other thing about it is because that trailing truck had no weight on it at all. There was nothing behind it. That may have also led to its ease of jumping off the track, maybe. Anyways, we will figure that out. Okay. Hello, Dats. Closet Branch, welcome to the show. We'll have a good view for you coming up. Where is the train? The train is... Let me see if I got a shot. Oh, it's not in good light. It's in horrible light. Let's do that. Let's see if I can get more light over there. I think so, maybe. You can barely see it there, passing through the sunlight around the helix. Not a very good shot. Not a very good shot. So, yeah. why is this the last train out of Dodge? Well, depending on how things work out. Hey, Sparky 107, welcome to the show. Will this train stop in Tucumcari? Well, it's got a long ways to go to get to. It's a long way to Tucumcari. Or how's that other song go? It's a long way to Tipperary, right? Not a long way to Tucumcari. Hey, Wesley, welcome to the show. Nice to see you here. And Sparky, again, welcome to the show. If you haven't been over to see Sparky's live trains run, that is amazing and a much better experience than my current one with Chooch Vision. Tunnel motors, actually not tunnel motors. These are SP lobotomized. So that's what they call them, SD40 -2, I forget, something. Cool. That's great news. What's up for me today? Other than watching this slow train just pull a couple of log loads around. Well, nice one, Pete. Okay, awesome, Sparky. Yes, I'm sorry, son. That is not the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, and it's not on track 29. So let's go back over to the studio view. Go past the not so functioning choo-choo camera. There we go. This is a great pass. I do need to get some lights that are outside of the layout shining down onto these levels, but that will come. There we go. And there we get it. It goes, it passes underneath. Yeah, Pete. Can you spare me a dime? Okay. Reminiscing about quite old songs, right? Okay. And of course, there was another riff on it. For those of you who remember watching Young Frankenstein or Frankenstein. Yeah. Okay. No, I don't. These are not specifically called out as tunnel motors. Closet branch. The inner row of lights under the upper level. So I just guessed that I would need the second row to give it more brightness. I didn't think that just having a single set on the outside here would help. I can give a demonstration of what that might look like without that in a second here. I'm going to do some live surgery here. This works. This part's no longer pluggable, but I can unplug one of those wires. And I don't know if you saw it on that. There still is light, but I also see something else. There's a shadow that's occurring from the light from the other side. It's really interesting. So let me see. You can see that there's a shadow from the light on the other side as it is blocked by the support beam. So, yeah, JP, I just took a guess that I would want that. And with that extra light, that means that there isn't that shadow from the light from the other side isn't visible. Now, to tell you the truth, what's going to happen here is eventually there will be a view block between these two sides. So where you see the upper and lower beams there, or the T, they will be blocked all the way. You won't be able to see even the threaded rod. That's a good one. Nice. That's nice. I have to say there's a lot of different opportunities right now for doing lighting, and LED lights are, well, they're not inexpensive. They're not super expensive. My particular case, I went in, this is all wired up. That's all wired up with to my own power supply. So we've got 12 volts running over here. And right now, for all the lights on the layout that I have running, which are 4 different sections, I'm pulling 5 amps at 11.5 volts. And that's powering all these lights. So I have just this section alone, there's 32 linear feet of light in this section here. So that's quite a bit of these little string lights, not string lights, but the adhesive ones. Okay, yep. Yeah, I don't have valences. I am going to try another product here that I bought recently. I'm going to see how these work. But this, I'm going to switch to the main camera so you can see this closer. This is I forget what it is. I got this also off of Amazon. It comes with a clip, standard 9-volt thing already there, and it comes with the other end also. So you wouldn't have to snip off the end here unless you wanted to, and I may do that. But these are embedded and have kind of not a valence, but it kind of dims, it makes the light smoother. And I don't know if I can do a demonstration of that. Probably can, because I've got it sitting on top of the layout. Power supply, I think, could be useful for this. Maybe. Live demo here. Yeah, a diffuser. That's the word I was searching for. So I can't use this end because I cut that off. Plug this in over here. And you're not supposed to do this. Ooh. That is some bright. That's what that looks like. And you're not supposed to keep it in the reel. Wow, that's pretty bright. So these will have less they will have less point source things than say these stick-on string lights. Yeah, so this is also has a narrower adhesive back to it, and that's only about, this is about like about half the width. So this is about an 1/8 inch wide versus the other, or maybe a quarter, yeah, 1/4 inch wide. Whereas the other strip lightings that I've bought are all more, not 1/2 inch, but they're wider. And it seems that my power supply, it must have been running for half an hour, and it's decided to stop. It's a nice feature. It'll actually auto stop. Okay, so there you go. You can find these kinds of lights. I saw this from the guy that I got the idea from for the L aluminum. So yeah. Yes, it will get hot. This is why they recommend that don't turn these things on while they're wrapped up together, because anytime you're generating light from electricity, you are generating heat, even though it's much less with LEDs than it ever was with incandescents. In fact, you probably spent more energy with an incandescent bulb giving off infrared light. So that's heat. So yeah, the other good thing about this particular model, like I said, is it already comes, you don't have to fuss with cutting off ends or getting those other adapters for it. You can just use this as is. I did order something else though. If I wanted to cut these, and let's see. There is, if I have the right product, there is a way to, there's this little pieces that you can use to join them together. And I only see there's one side to them here. Of course, as with a lot of stuff on eBay or on Amazon, there's no instructions. And then there's little strips of wire here. So to figure out how that actually works. But yeah, I'm not sure. And again, I'm not even sure if I bought the right version. And then for whatever reason, the sticker is ripped. Maybe I did that. There was a set that came with them. in there. So I think yeah, we'll let the smoke out. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, yeah, it is the same connector in this little bag this came with. And then there is a little tie down piece here that is meant to secure the ends. So the wire will go there, and or it's transparent, so you could use this right over the LEDs and you would still see them like so. So you don't get any loss of LEDs, or they don't warm up underneath the little holder. So here we go. We've got the train coming back through again. So let's get that car out of the way. Okay. Yep. So that's about it for what I've got today. I am going to make a special appearance again over at JP's Model Railroad in about an hour and a half. So I gave JP some JP. What did I say, JP? Yeah, I'm gonna fly to LA in an hour and a half. No, Pete's Model Railroad. Yes, Pete. I was thinking I'm all confused this week. Pete's Model Railroad, and I gave him some of wood that I have rescued from my previous layout he can use to assist. Wait, what? Okay, that's good to know. 30 minutes from you. There's probably even a direct flight from Portland to Ontario, but I would guess that Alaska probably does that. Anyways, Pete, I'll be over at Pete's house around 11, and we're going to assemble a bench work for the eventual helix, the restoration of the helix. So I had a bunch of wood that was just sitting up in the storage stuff in my garage. I knew I would have no use of it here. So if we hadn't found a second home for it, it would have been eventually going to the dumpster, which is unfortunate. It's great wood. Some of that wood in there. So Pete doesn't have a channel. He's not a YouTube guy. But Sparky, are you on Facebook? Because Pete does post on Facebook into Roy Smith's N-Scale Union Pacific Subdivision, Evanston Subdivision Facebook group, if you're over there. Yes, Pete does have Facebook. So seek him out when he posts photos in the Evanston Subdivision, which he does fairly routinely. And I also saw that he posted a video of some progress that he and a couple of his friends were making. So anyways, he's making progress on that. And we'll see. He actually has Why don't Pete have a YouTube channel? I don't know if you know. I don't know if you noticed, Dwight, but maintaining a channel is takes time away from actually doing things. But Pete routinely posts there, and he's getting closer and closer each day. As soon as he gets his lighting issues straightened out, of having a grand opening for what he has named, I think, the Roy Smith Memorial Yard. I think I got that right. So he has a Union Pacific facility. He changed his yard there. He redid that starting last year after Roy passed away. He modeled that yard somewhat. The plan of it is reminiscent of what Roy did in his. Is it the Evanston yard or Green River? I forget which one he had, that main yard right there. I think it's Green River had the yard, and then Evanston was over on the peninsula where because he was modeling. He had the roundhouse and the power facility there and a few leads that he was getting to. So in fact, you also check that out if you haven't seen that. Go back and look up on Roy Smith's YouTube channel. Go and watch those all those videos on him building out the Evanston Roundhouse. He goes into a lot of great ideas about how he cut that down and made that fit. He even got a turntable, which I believe they're going to try to make that functional at some point. But yeah, he didn't have space for the full roundhouse, but there you go. Let's see what people are saying here. I need to get back into doing trains again. Yeah, you need to get healed up and ready to rock and roll again, Dwight. Okay. My mojo is being stolen by my employer. I get up what most people call leisurely. I'm up and moving 8-ish or so. Get working between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I said the bad word there. And then while I don't spend the entire day dedicated to WORK, I close my computer lately at about sometime between 11:30 and 1 a.m. So they've been some really long days for the last few weeks. October 1st is our release. So fingers crossed, but I think it's going to be a rough week. This will be the first time we're taking real large production traffic. Anyways, that's why I've had no time at all. I need to spend this weekend. In fact, I only have a limited amount of time to go over to Pete's today. Well, here's the good thing and the bad thing at the same time. I start my sabbatical next Friday. That'll be 5 weeks of no working. But because that I am the guy for this part of the product that we're releasing, and the people that I have to help me out are not as knowledgeable about that. I'm going to take my work laptop with me when I'm on sabbatical. And I'm actually even going to go into our Shanghai, China office, I think probably one day, because they're about to start this journey as well. And we need their support, and we need to support them in allowing this experience to be accessible in China as well as the rest of the world. Anyways, things that you guys don't know, they're not about trains at all, but it is impacting my ability to work on trains. So hopefully that calms down, but and hopefully I have a job when I come back. They're like, what could you do? Why did you go on vacation like right after we launched this huge thing? Bought the tickets like 6 months ago. Yeah, I'm getting dangerously close. I haven't worked like this since 30 years ago. It's crazy. It's crazy to do it when you're turning 60 this year. It was much easier when I was 29. And then much easier still, even then, when I thought I knew more when I was 39. 8-ish more years. You're that far behind me? All right. But depending on, things, I don't want to look for a new job. Definitely. So anyways. Yep. So today will be a day that I'm only going to work an hour or two, I think. And tomorrow is going to be full day, really. Yeah, so it's actually about 4 weeks from now, exactly. So show number, how cool is that? Show 60 will be released on my 60th birthday. But I won't be here. I won't be live. Remember what we got coming up. So it's a good transition because we're only 10 minutes away. And we're probably close to shutting this down anyways. So as the train comes by, we're going to stop it right in front of Rocky here. We're going to stop it right in front of Rocky because, I gotta make we gotta give envy to Closet Branch. He's going to burn with fires of desire or something. I don't know what he says. Yep, it is cool. I just figured that out. Those 60/60. So I've got a number of things that I've got to do this weekend and next weekend to be ready. First of all, I have layout photos of the month, which, if I have time, will be next week's show. There will also be a after the layout photos next week then. So next week it will either be, if I have time, and if this week isn't totally insane, I will have oh man. I didn't want to. Okay. Okay, JP. here we go. You got me derailed here. Next week, so if I have time, I will get those photos, the photos of the month done. So it's going to be busy because October 1st, I don't think I'll have any time at all. But we'll see. Maybe I will. It depends on how well things are running, but I have to monitor how everything's running that whole day as we go from 0 to 100%. So, layout photos of the month after the photos or a regular show next week, the 57th show. I think I'm going to interview. I'm going to interview some people or one person for one of the shows that I'll do while I'm away. So the 11th, the 18th, 25th. So there's 4 shows where I won't be live. So the 11th, the 18th, the 25th, my birthday, and on November 1st. So November 1st, all those shows, I'm hoping to shoot some B-roll to put something together. I have one segment shot that's going to last about 10 minutes. I need to get into the garage today. That's the other thing, and do some painting to prep for a model build. I don't know if I have time to do much of the model building. But we'll see. See how much I can do today, because I also have some things to do in the yard as well. And I don't mean the train yard. So I think we're going to wrap this up for now. Let's see. Is Andy out there still? Andy says, what? Yep, we're going to get on it right now. It's coming in for a landing. Get to the chopper. That's a nice little metal toy, isn't it? Get to the chopper. Yeah. It's not it's like a Jolly Green Giant. Yeah, so there's that. What else? We'll say hasta la vista, baby, to Rocky there in front of the SD40-2 lobotomized in its twin. And that nice Kodachrome. Got to get some more light on that front here. That's sitting in front of where the lights are coming down. Okay. And then what else? Yeah. Let's tie this off. So Rocky says, don't forget. Yep. I'll be back. Okay. So I'll be back next week. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll run this little thing here that reminds people that they should like and subscribe right there. If you're still watching, like and subscribe, and you'll get more content in the months to come, including the 60th show, which is a special show. So there we go. See you all later. That's it for episode 56. The last train out of Dodge. Roll of credits.